Hello, this is Transformers fan G138. I'm here with a video review of Bionicle 2008 Axalera T9 with Lewa. And this is one of the coolest Bionicle sets I think they ever made. I actually just picked this up on eBay the other day in a damaged box, so I spent about 4 hours putting this thing together. Everything was 100% complete. Ended up with a bag of parts, though, that wasn't marked and had a bunch of extra stuff in it that was not in the instructions at all. So I don't know where that came from. So that was interesting. But other than that, they're all the older parts, like the black pegs and everything. So where this uses all the newer red pegs. But anyway, here we go. Axalera T9. Fully assembled. It took me about 5 hours. This is the same time I actually built this. My neighbors had this before, so it took me about 4 hours then. But I sat and watched an entire 12-episode anime while building this, so you can imagine that. And I had to read subtitles in it, so you can imagine this went pretty slowly. Anyway, pretty cool vehicle. You got Lewa here. New mask design, as opposed to his other current mask of levitation. Let's see if we can't just go ahead and back this guy. Here is the other 2008 Lewa. We can see the differences in the masks. I'll pop these off real quick. Take a better look. So here we go. Two masks, although similar, are very different. And we can blame this on the adaptive armor Artaka presented them with. In Legends number 8, I think it was. I could be wrong on the precise number that. I do have it. I think it might have been 7, actually. It was in the afterwards. I read the entire book, too. I mean, it took me about 10 minutes to read. Children's novel, but Artaka gave him adaptive armor and whatever, so it would explain the differences between this Lewa and that Lewa. Being in the same year. So most notably, he's got the same arms and the same legs. He's got different feet and different armor. This guy has the shoulder armor, where this Lewa doesn't, although it would be very easy just to pop it off of this guy and add it here. So you can have this Lewa almost identical. They are really similar, and I'm actually just going to pop him off of... I'm actually going to take a look at the vehicle before I examine Lewa separate, because I don't want to fight with him on camera at least. So, most notable about this thing is it's huge. Second most notable thing, it's got a built-in handle. My hand's a little bit big for it, but it's also designed for a kid's hand. So, it's nice. I can hold it still. And we have 3 gears systems on it. Well, one's not really a gear system, but we've got this big knob, which raises and lowers, and they're on both sides. So I'm going to move the back side so my hand's not in the way. But the big one here retracts and extends the landing gear. And the landing gear uses these other sword staff pieces on the back wing fins here. And the top here just folds back in. And we have these 2 buttons. The front one, we spin that, pops open the front. Both sides open up and close. Inside, we get 2 sky blasters. I forget exactly what they're called, but they shoot light. They actually use what remaining light is left in Matanui's body. Supposedly. And that just went off. But basically they use the Zamosphere style. except they're balls of light, apparently. But all the Toa came with these in 2008, so they're not new. And put that back in here. Bit difficult to reload with this thing, but whatever. Just put those away. Like I said, you can do it on both. This thing gets in the way, but again, designed for smaller fingers. These are actually, which is kind of notable. I thought this was kind of cool. These were the swords Lewa had when he was turned from Toa Mata to Toa Nuva. So I think that's kind of a cool nod that they made it onto the vehicle. And this last knob here. This one is huge. It actually extends the fins here out for flight mode. Other than aesthetics, I don't know exactly what they're supposed to be, but they're pretty cool looking all the same. There we go. It's got a really cool intricate gear system there. I can't even get them all on camera, but they all have these cool like spike things at the end. But they fold up nice, and if you position Lewa correctly, the spike comes close, but doesn't actually hit him. Overall, I think this is one of the coolest Legos. And if we want, we can take a look at the gear system. I did leave two pieces out. And I remember this from the first time I built it, several years ago. But down here, there should be a piece that prevents this panel from moving. I didn't put those pieces in, so we can actually lift these two panels up. So you can actually store things in here if you wanted to. I'm actually using it as going to be using it as a storage unit for this nice sparkly mask of light, because I don't want to misplace it. Literally, I'm just going to set it in there and close it up. So now I know where it is. And I'll probably do that with all 6 of the golden masks that come with the new 2015 Bionicle. The 2015 Kopaka mask. Gold. Just because they don't all look good with their gold masks, but they do look pretty good with all their regular colored masks. Boom. I'll be reviewing him shortly. So, overall, highly, highly, highly recommend this thing. If you have it, excellent. You are one of the coolest collectors ever. The only stat I would say is on par with this, as far as awesome and playability, is the Scorpio figure from the following year. I think that was either 2009 or 2010 that came out. But that has massive treads, and it transforms into a really cool Scorpio. You know, Mont Nui fights it and stuff. That and this are like the two primo Bionicle sets, in my opinion. So, now let's actually take a look at Lewa himself. We unclip him. He actually clips in 4 places. His hands get mounted to the handlebars here, which for the spin. His hands back in this day are the just standard clips. They're just the, they had these were the redesign. They had these kind of style all the way until 2009 when they introduced the hands. But till then, they all had these, and they were cool. And in my opinion, these actually look a little better than the hands, but that's just me, because I'm crazy. But pretty cool. I do like this mask a little bit better than the other one, but who's keeping track? And we'll just do a side-by-side comparison with this Lewa. They are approximately the same height. They actually, like I said before, have 2 different masks, but they are both masks of levitation. And they take cues and keys from each other, specifically in between the mask here, the split, and then these fins on the side. As we look in close, we still have those rotary jet engine-like looking things. Still have the split here and the side panels. But This one's very squinty-eyed, like he's like squinting against the wind as they're going really, really, really fast. Of course, this Lewa includes his weapons. But, like I mentioned before, all of the weapons and armor can just be transferred from one to the other. Also, the most notable difference, besides the mask, is what's actually under the mask. We have a new translucent piece here. This includes fins. They also use this on Pohatu's speeder mode. It's a little weird. I don't know why they did that, but they did it. I think it would have looked fine without them, but yeah, it's kind of neat. So, there we go. Pretty cool. Other difference, he doesn't have the Matoran port on the back, but again, you can swap that and add that on. I'm not going to go through that, but whatever. And I mentioned before, and didn't actually elaborate, he clips on in 4 places. His hands clip on the handlebars, and his feet here clip on to this peg back here, which also moves. Harder to get off because one side wants to stick in better than the other, so that wants to pull out and make pieces go everywhere, but pretty cool. I imagine that Lewa would probably work too, even with all his armor. I think his feet would have a harder time getting in the back here. That's why they used the smaller one on here. But overall, Lewas are very similar. So, yeah, I do like the new mask better than this mask. But back in the day, $90 was a lot. And then I wouldn't have been able to get this for like $35. So, you know, whatever. It was a pretty good deal. $35 on eBay. Good luck finding that price. It was the only one that I outbid somebody by 3 cents. I feel really proud of myself. So, love this thing. Glad I got it in my collection now. Even after all those years. Like, I almost cried when my neighbors tore theirs apart, like, right after I finished building it. But, got some cool features in this thing, and I'm just, like I said, this is one of the best Bionicle Lego sets ever. That's my review. Ranking, this one is probably a 10 out of a 10. So, there it is, 10 out of 10. Or 9 out of 9, because this one, using my same ranking system, and subbing paint in 4 colors and whatnot, 9 out of 9, so, which is equivalent of a 10 out of 10. The one thing, if I had to complain about anything, is these teeth on the side. They are on the non-friction pegs, which just kind of clip in. They're like the normal Lego receiving end on one side, but they're free spinning. They didn't create the friction style ones, the blue pegs, like these, until after, well, like I think a few years after this got done. So this was out of production, so they didn't have those, unfortunately. Otherwise, those would have been cool because they do flop around a lot and don't necessarily line up. But overall, really cool anyway. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. See you in a few minutes. I'll be reviewing Stormer and then Kopaka. And there's a reason I'll be doing it in that order. Stormer's a Hero Factory, in case you wondered. If you didn't know that. So, catch you in a few minutes.